Went back to play Demon Souls Remake because it got stuck in my mind as a special game, but I haven't played at all since the release date. So wanted to check what's so damn impressive about it, and gotta tell you it's quite a different game than all the other From Software ones. On the surface it is similar, but after playing extensively it's so different. It's much simpler than something like Elden Ring, Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. But done in a way that I would root for Demon Souls 2 more than any other From Software game sequel that doesn't have it. Welcome to another Ramblings of a Madman video, you simple bastards. A proper Ramblings video after the few that were reaction based. Sorry for bad video quality, but unfortunately PlayStation 5 recording software at Full HD is atrocious. Don't have a 4K TV, so I can't record better footage. First, let me say that Demon Souls is an outdated version in many ways, but in some aspects it works better than any other From Software game. In many it doesn't. For example, quality of life stuff, like can't compare shop gear to equipped, can't sell items. There is item burden capacity, farming for weapon upgrades is pain in the ass. Also, the world is disconnected, which is something people didn't like about Dark Souls 2, in a way that the player teleports to a location that has nothing to do with the previous one. Locations are impressive, but done in a different way. What I mean by that is that it's more hallway oriented than any other Souls game, and it works great mostly. Dark Souls games are hallway oriented too, but not as strict as Demon Souls. Usually I hate rest points placed away from the bosses, so that we pointlessly have to avoid enemies to get back to the boss fight after death. In Demon Souls that system works much better. Half the time only, though. Rest points should have been put before bosses like Flame Lurker and Man-Eater, because they were proper bosses unlike others. What I mean is, most boss fights in Demon Souls are gimmick fights, except something like Flame Lurker and Man-Eater that are more traditional challenge type battles. These gimmick fights can be extremely easy if the player knows what to do, but to get to the fight in one piece and then do the deed is what makes it much tougher. As I said, sometimes it's a complete failure how the game does it, and half the time it makes sense, but only because a lot of bosses are structured as simple gimmicks. So there will be very few fights like Gale, Nameless King or Malekith where the player's skills are going to be tested. Instead, the player's patience and concentration are tested all the time. Don't remember the last time in From Software game where I was dreading so much to lose progress, because going from rest point to rest point is almost always tough, with a boss in between. It's much more pronounced in Demon Souls than in any other From Software game. A lot of it because of cheap cliff deaths too, which is an integral part of it all. Enemies are easily killed in combat, but so is the player. It's an atypical balance that can be annoying to the point of punching a wall, ritual path, but rewards tactical approach through a simple positioning and movement game. I usually hate 1 or 2 shot kills, but those don't happen often, but it's not rare also. In a game like this, where most tougher enemies and you are on the same level playing field, it works rather well. Combat is extremely simple, with few moves available, and the upside is that it makes everything much more realistic. Fighting an armored knight means both of you can die in a few hits, therefore enemies are less aggressive and can be exploited more easily. It ties nicely into the world structure and lack of rest points. It's all about the progress, that is the number one commandment in the Demon Souls. Just get over the obstacle in any way possible, period. What such focus has created is the biggest emphasis on movement during combat I might have ever experienced. And I love that. The simplicity of it all is so damn brilliant. Every little move you make can lead to death or progress. Don't know how many times I've misjudged a step against a tougher enemy and it cost me everything. Or when I succeeded at measuring the distance better and finished the fight instantly. Positioning myself in a tight hallway to deal with more than one enemy at once in an easier way. Hiding in a cell to wait for the damn guards that can kill me easily to pass by, so I can bring them down quickly because of their slower turn rate. It's all about the little things. Major part of it all is the immersion from such focus on movement, simple attacks and the brilliant work that Blue Point has done with the remake. I'm not a person that celebrates and worships graphics. I mean, CRPGs are my favorite games, which should tell you everything. But Demon Souls Remake was the eye-opener in how much From Software games need an upgrade. Combat is so damn immersive due to amazing animations, incredible sound effects and second to none visual effects. Hard for me to describe, but I hope you can see it on the screen how effective each move is due to graphical details and animations. With such fidelity, even a simple combat system like this thrives. Proof that you don't need incredibly complex systems with 378 different button combinations. I felt joy almost every damn time when hitting someone with a fire sword and seeing that beautiful burning effect accompanied beforehand with a perfect sword swing animation and a phenomenal sound effect. Or making enemies drop to the ground after getting hit with a greatsword. Just look at these projectiles that Man-Eater throws. It's so damn sick how great it looks. My point is that such graphical improvement has elevated combat and atmosphere to the highest level. It's so damn immersive. Yeah, sometimes animations break in case of the gargoyles, but I can forgive that. I think this is one of my favorite Souls type combat systems, and by far my favorite Souls game visually. I get it's strange to say the Demon Souls Remake is for me that highly valued because even combat has many flaws. For example, hitting bigger enemies with large weapons and them not reacting at all, not even a stutter. Backstab and crit hit animations are definitely the best compared to Elden Ring and Dark Souls, but still require a lot more work. A bit better AI would be welcomed too. Sprint and dodge on the same button doesn't work that great. Even with all of that, I've never felt such satisfaction with each swing of a weapon in From Software games like I did in Demon Souls Remake. It's so simple and brilliant. Oh, and the visuals. By far, for me, the most atmospheric From Software game because of the graphical upgrade. Every little thing is so much more emphasized due to the incredible level of detail, with vastly improved lighting and shadows. Enemies look scarier too. Game is overall much less cartoonish than Dark Souls. Maybe a stupid helmet or two, but weapons couldn't be more normal from what I've seen. Outside boss stuff, of course, and even some of those are not that ridiculous. In conclusion, Demon Souls Remake is an outdated Dark Souls that despite that does many things better than any other From Software game. Incredible visuals, animations, sound effects, visual effects, immersive combat, enemies have never looked better. Fantastic looking equipment, interesting locations. Boss fights are somewhat underwhelming, mostly compared to the others, but they are tied into checkpoint progression where players are challenged differently. Even with lots of skipping still, this game doesn't allow it as much as others do, and players can deal with the bosses easily due to limited movesets and AI, but in some weird way when playing the game with minimal skipping it creates some of the most difficult sections you'll ever experience. Demon Souls Remake is a special one, and for me in top 3 Souls games ever, no matter how outdated it is and how outdated it might seem. From Software needs to get their shit together and start working on improving the graphics, because after playing the remake it's hard going back to something so much worse looking. Anyway, that's all. Check out the description for Patreon and subscribe to our reactions, merch that I recently introduced, and see you soon.